Awards don't matter in voiceover. That's what I used to say. That's what everyone says. Awards are just ego. Awards don't get you jobs. But here's the thing. I just won a Sovas Award. And the second my name was called, everything I thought I knew was completely wrong. By the way, I'm Jesse Carroll. I've done over 2,000 voiceover jobs. I've made over $1 million in voiceover. I'm the voice of History Channel's Back Road Truckers. And on January 18th, 2026, I became a Sovas Award winner. And I'm about to show you exactly what happened, what I learned, and why this changed me in a way I never expected. All right, so let me set the scene for you. January 18th, Beverly Hilton in Los Angeles. This is the same place they hold the Golden Globes. I get nominated for a Voice Arts Award at the SOVAS, the Society of Voice Arts and Sciences, for Outstanding PSA TV or Streaming. Really f***ing hard category, because you gotta be real authentic, and it often takes a lot of emotion to make it work. And let me tell you, I'm gonna be straight up. When I got the nomination, I was like, cool, that's nice. I'll go. It'll be fun. I had no idea what I was walking into. I hired a stylist. I got dressed in Jean-Paul Gaultier. I'm a guy from Vancouver Island in Canada originally, wearing Jean-Paul Gaultier. There was butterflies on my nipples. It was wild. We went full Oscars. I was like, if I'm doing this, I'm doing this. I'm going all the way. And I brought my best friend, Brandon J. McLaren. He's an actor. You might know him from The Rookie. He played Elijah Stone or Wayward Pines, or as Buckley from Snowfall. And honestly, thank God I brought him, because he knew how to handle all this stuff. He'd been doing it for a while. Because let me tell you, standing in front of the step and repeat, the red carpet, getting your picture taken, trying to mingle with people you've never met, it is way more intimidating than I thought it would be. Like, way more. So I'm standing there on the red carpet, trying to look cool, right? Trying to act like I belong, doing my poses. And Brandon's getting all the attention because people recognize him from the shows. They're like, oh my God, you're the guy from The Rookie. You're the bad guy with the bat. And he was like, yeah. And I'm just standing there like, yeah, I do voiceovers. But honestly, it was perfect because it took the pressure off of me. I could just observe, watch how he handled it, and just learn. Now, here's a pro tip, and I learned this the hard way. Don't show up to a red carpet late, because it'll be almost impossible to get on it. There's a little lineup for these things. They don't show you that when you look at these things on TVs or pre-recordings. There's a lot of things that happen early too. If you're going to the Sovas next year, you want to get there right away, as soon as it opens up, so you can have cocktail, don't have six, learn from my mistakes. You can do all the different interviews. There's people there to interview you. You get video captured, all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we missed, but I'm gonna go again next year, even if I don't get nominated again. It's a really good time. And the reason we didn't get there early is because Brandon, true to actor in LA fashion, had told me not to get there until later because no one shows up early in LA. That is not true for voice actors. They were all there. We were like one of the last people to show up. So yeah, get there early. Trust me on that one. And then after all of the pictures, the red carpet, all that, getting a cocktail, we go inside. And that's when I realized this is a big deal. Like, the ballroom was gorgeous, and I recognized it from TV, from the Golden Globes. It's like this big sweeping room. The tables were beautiful. It was all done up. There was lights everywhere. It was unreal. It was surreal. And then it gets even weirder. So the ceremony starts, and there's tango dancers and salsa dancers. It was either tango or salsa, one of the two. It was really crazy, and they were acrobatic. There's performances, and about halfway through the night, they have a special award. It's the first ever James Earl Jones reward. You know James Earl Jones, Darth Vader most famously, but has done like a million other things, and one of the most recognizable voices in voiceover and acting, period. Well, he sadly passed away last year, so that's why they made this award at the Sovas, and it's being presented to Lawrence Fishburne by James Earl Jones's son and Angela Bassett. And Lawrence Fishburne gets up there and he talks about how James Earl Jones was like a father to him. He's crying, how James Earl Jones is a pioneer for the black community in a time where black people were not getting roles at all. How it was very, very hard, and he had everything against him and still built this incredible career. And he talked about how James Earl Jones took him under his wing and kept giving back to the community, kept lifting people up, sending the elevator back down. And I'm sitting there thinking, this is what it's all about. This is why we do this. It's not just about the award. It's about the legacy. It's about the impact you have on other people. And the impact that James Earl Jones had on Lawrence Fishburne was evident. He loved that man. And he made the award that he got all about the person they were honoring, James Earl Jones, with that award instead of himself. And I was so inspired by that. And the award ceremony was long. That was like, for me, that was like one of the top moments. And they hadn't called my award yet. Obviously, that's going to be the top. And I would say probably another 3-4 hours go by, and then they get to my category. Okay, so they get to my category, and I had like this whole speech prepared. I knew what I was going to do. I was going to say it was going to be clever. It was going to be bold. It was going to be inspirational. As they're calling my category, I'm looking at everybody. I'm like, oh shit, like, what if I don't win? I'm probably not going to win. Odds are against winning. Only one person wins. And there was like, I don't know, like somewhere between 8 and 12 people nominated. And it was a hard category. And then it's so funny. Brandon the whole time was like, you got to win, dog. I was like, it's not really my fucking choice, is it? We videotaped it. I'm sure Pa Rush is going to put it on the screen. And I wasn't breathing at all. I'm just like staring at the screen. I'm trying to like look relaxed. I was not relaxed. And then they called my name. Jessica! They called my name. And people screamed. People were cheering for me. People I didn't even know. It was, I've never won an award in my entire life. This was huge. So I just get like tunnel vision. I don't even say like, everybody at the table is trying to like get my attention, hug me. And I'm like, everything is just gone out the window. Like I get up there. I'm trying not to trip on the way to the stage. I get the award. I kiss the presenter on the cheek, and I've got like a card thing that says winner. And I get to the microphone, and I had nothing. I could not remember what I was saying. Parish, play it for me. Play it for everybody so they can see.
Oh my God. Wow, this thing is loud. I'm so humbled. I had a speech and then I didn't bring it, and now I have no idea what to say.
It was okay. At the time, it was like, oh my God, I'm embarrassing myself. I'm holding this award and I'm looking out at all these people, and my brain just blanks. So I just, spoke from the heart. I thanked the Sovas. I thanked Joan and Rudy, the presidents, the founders who put it on.
Thank you to the Sovas Awards. Thank you to Joan and Rudy. And thank you to all of you. I wanted to be a voice actor my entire life. I feel like one right now.
I thank my fiance Heather and my son Jackson for pushing me every day to be better.
Thank you so much to my family back home. Thank you so much to my fiance Heather. Thank you so much to my son Jackson.
And then at the end of it, I just yelled out, I was like, Daddy's coming home a winner.
Daddy's coming home a winner.
That was my best moment. That was the correct thing to do at that point. Which in hindsight was like, it was not the speech I prepared, but you know what? It felt right. It felt like a good moment. And after that, people kept coming up to me and quoting my speech. Daddy's going home a winner. It was cool. So what I'd like to do is I would like to present the speech I was supposed to include, which was not just what I did, but it was a little bit more giving thanks to the people that put this project together. Without them, there wouldn't have been a spot. It was not just me who won that award. Here's the speech that I should have included. This project was for Hope's Promise, a foundation dedicated to helping foster children find safe, stable homes. From the start, this wasn't about awards, it was about impact. If this PSA helped even one child find a loving and stable home, then every ounce of effort was worth it. Huge congrats to Honest Films and everyone involved. We all poured our hearts into this, and it shows. This particularly to me, like, it meant a lot. So thank you. Thank you to my best friend, Brandon J. McLaren, for pushing me to come to LA, to raise my standards, and for showing me what it looks like to walk into bigger rooms. To my incredible fiance, Heather, your support means more than I can put into words. And to my son, Jackson, you make me want to be a better man every single day. Thank you, of course, to the Voice Arts Awards, the Sovas, Joan Baker, and Rudy Gaskins for this honor. And to everyone I met along the way. Still processing this, forever grateful. Daddy's coming home a winner. I can't wait to get that trophy. I'm just gonna walk around doing that all the time. All right, so after I won, what changed? What am I talking about here? So this is the part that I didn't expect. I just won this award. Nothing happened yet, career-wise. It's only been like a few days. But what has changed is the way people view me. Really? and more importantly, the way I feel about myself. And that's profound in a way I never expected. Callie just walked in, my dog. I feel like a winner. I've never been a winner before. I feel like I've won a big award. And when I saw who I was up against in that category, I felt like I'd finally arrived in voiceover, which is crazy because I've been doing this professionally for years. Even though I've made over $1 million in my career in voiceover, even though I'm the voice of a show on History Channel, this was different. This felt like validation in a way that nothing else has. And I've said it in the past that awards don't matter. Maybe you guys think that too. A lot of people in voiceover say that because we're humble people. We don't want to seem like we're chasing trophies. But the fact of the matter is, if you're an award-winning or award-nominated voice actor, people are going to pay attention. And it does change the way you see yourself profoundly. So why not pursue it? Don't obsess over it. It's all in fun, but why not? It was a hell of a night. It was worth it just for the trip to LA. All right, so here are the lessons I learned from this whole experience. Lesson number 1, awards do matter. I was wrong. Awards matter. They give you credibility. They give you authority. They open doors. And if you have the opportunity to submit for an award, do it. Don't let your ego or your humility stop you. Lesson number 2, show up early. Do not show up to a red carpet late. Get there early. Do the interviews, get the photos, network. That's where the magic happens. Once the award show starts, you can't really table hop and talk to people. You got to do it beforehand. There's a little bit of that, but not too much. People are talking on stage. Number 3, be prepared, but be flexible. I had a whole speech prepared, and I didn't use any of it. And that's okay. The important thing is that I showed up, I was present, and I said what mattered. And also, maybe don't have 6 doubles before you go on stage. Just saying. Listen, don't judge me. It was like 6 hours long and my award was at the end, okay? 6 doubles. They were $100 a round for 2 doubles. LA is crazy. Let's just say it was 2 so you guys don't think I'm an alcoholic. Just kidding, not kidding. Lesson number 4, surround yourself with people who know the game. Bringing Brandon was one of the best decisions I made, even though he made us show up late. I'm just kidding. It's all good, Brandon. If you're watching this, I don't care. I do care. I'll go again next year early. One of the reasons it was a great idea to bring him, he knew how to handle the red carpet. He knew how to mingle. He knew how to navigate the event. He knew how to pose on the red carpet way better than I did. I looked like a deer in headlights and he was like doing cool poses that I just ended up copying. I learned so much just by watching. If you're going to do an event like this, bring someone who's been there before. Learn from them. It'll make you feel more comfortable too. Lesson number 5, enjoy the moment. This was surreal. This was my almost famous moment, my Oscar moment for voiceover. And I'm so glad I went all in. I'm so glad I got the stylist, even though it had butterfly patterns on the nipples I didn't notice till later. I'm so glad I wore the Jean-Paul Gaultier shirt. I don't even want to tell you how much that shirt costs. It was, I was holding red wine like away from me like this and not bumping into anybody because it had to be returned. I'm so glad I treated this thing like the Oscars, which, maybe to some people it was a little silly. But moments like this don't come around that often. And when they do, you need to soak them in. Go all in, go all the way. Look, I know not everyone's going to win a Sovas Awards. I know not everyone's interested in it. I know not everyone's going to be nominated. But here's what I want you to take away from this. Okay? You don't need an award to be successful in voiceover. You don't. You don't need a trophy to validate your work. But if you have the opportunity to pursue one, do it. Just do it, because it's not just about the award. It's about the whole experience. It's about the connections you make. It's about the doors it opens. Nominated, winner or not, just being in there, just being in the room. And it's about proving to yourself that you belong, because you do. You belong in this industry. You belong on that stage. You belong in that room. Believe in yourself. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't. And look, if you want to submit for awards yourself, you can. Check out the One Voice Awards USA. You can self-submit and it's free to enter. It's a great way to get your work out there and get recognized. And if you got value out of this video, if this inspired you or taught you something or gave you an alternate point of view, do me a favor, hit like, hit subscribe. For those of you who haven't subscribed to watch my channel, just hit it. One of these days I'm gonna get you. Share it with someone who needs to hear this, why not? And if you're interested in doing voiceover the way that we teach it in VoiceOver School and possibly get nominated for awards, but more importantly, get a system that teaches you how to actually do this thing for real, you can get started right now for $47 a month. The link is below. Other than that, thank you so much for everybody that's been watching this channel and seen my journey over the years. I'm Jesse Carroll. This has been another video, and I will see you in the next one. Daddy's coming home a winner!